A very good morning to everyone. Welcome to Global Online. And here we are back with our next session on paper 2, that is management topic. And today we are going to do the topic called as human resource management. Under human resource management, we'll be seeing meaning, nature, scope as of human resource management. So this is what we are going to cover today. And yes, before we start ahead, let's understand what exactly is this. Before we go ahead, let's understand what does Global Online has to offer you for your paper 2. So for your upcoming examination, that is for December 2023 cycle, for NTA UGC-NET Paper-2 Management, we have a complete course. Now, the highlight of this course is a complete video lectures. We have syllabus note, we have mock test, we have previous year questions with explanation, and a complete set of paper 1 free of cost if you are taking paper 2, if you are opting for paper 2. Now, in order to get this facility, you can get in touch with us on the given WhatsApp number. The fees is rupees 10,000, but you have a 20% off, so you can get this in a fee cost of rupees 8,000. So yes, let's start what exactly the topic today we have for the agenda, that is human resource management. So under human resource management, we are first going to see what exactly the term calls as. So now, as you know, human resource management is acronym by HRM, which is nothing but it is known as human resource management. So let's see what this human resource management is all about. So if you see, it's divided into two words. One is human resources and one is management. So we know what is human resources if for an organization. So for an organization, human resources are nothing but employees, and management is nothing but an art of or a skill of getting the things done from your employees. So basically, human resource management is nothing but an art of managing your employees. Now, when I say managing your employees, you have to ensure that you are motivating, you're hiring them, you're motivating them, you're getting the work done from them, you're trying to build up a system for them, so which includes their compensation, their benefits, all this. That is till the time or from the time the organization recruits the employee till the time the employee retires or resigns, or it means the entry of the employee in an organization till the time of exit. This all journey, what is done under human resource management. It means the management of your people is done in the form of this aspect that is called as human resource management. So basically, under human resource management, the complete focus all is on whom? On the people. So it is something which is people plays an important role in human resources. So that is one thing. Now let's see what is the nature of human resource management. So when we talk about nature of human resource management, it talks about what? It talks about the characteristics, it talks about the features, it talks about your attributes. So let's see what are the attributes, what are the features, or what exactly stands under what exactly stands under human resource management. So now, yes, before we go ahead, I hope very clearly you people have understood what are characteristics. Characteristics is nothing but features, which includes both aspect, the positive as well as the negative aspects. So let's see now what exactly it is talking about. So we are talking about what? We are talking about certain important nature, features, or characteristics. So the first point of characteristics is called as what? It involves application and management of functions. Okay, so let's see what exactly it is known as. Okay, as I said, it is talking about what? It is talking about what? It is talking about application of management functions and principle. Now, when we talk about application of management functions in HRM, so first try to understand that management functions are universal in nature. So your management function, which consists of organizing, developing, maintaining, okay, all these functions are a part of what? All these functions are a part of, it's a part of your organization, which comes with reference to your people, which is followed with reference to your people. Decisions relating to employee must be integrated. Now here it talks about whatever decision, whatever factors you're taking into consideration with reference to employees must be integrated with your management. It means it should not be something which is aloof, which is, separate, or which is something differently. It should be integrated with your organization. Decisions which are made can have an influence on effectiveness of the organization. So basically, it talks about what? It talks about your effectiveness with respect to what? With respect to the services. So whatever you are trying to treat your employees with, the reflection will definitely come on the pattern of working, engaging your customers, taking care of your customers. So ultimately, see, please try to understand that we are not telling that your employees should be pampered, your employees should be given, as extra weightage. You have to treat them like human beings, so that whatever type of services you are trying to give to your employees, those services will be reflected in the form of their work, in the form of their productivity. And that's what it is telling. It is talking about what? It is talking about application of management functions with respect to what? With respect to your developing them, maintaining them, giving them a proper remuneration. It is talking about integrated the various functions. It is talking about effectiveness of an organization. And it is, HRM functions are not confined to business establishments. It means that it is applicable to the various areas also. Now, what are these various areas? It includes your education, it includes your health, your recreation. All these are a part of what? All these are a part of your HRM function. Okay, so HRM functions is not only which talks about one aspect, that is employee. It takes into consideration the employees. It takes into consideration the business. Also, it takes into consideration what? Your non-business functions. So this all togetherly is nothing but it is under what? It is under HRM. Now, let's understand what is a scope of HRM. Now, please try to understand. Now, as you all know, there is a case study pattern which is coming up in the examination from last few years. Okay. So they have a case study pattern, and then you have to answer according to that case study. So now, in this particular topic, or this particular topic is asking you with respect to what? What are the scope? Now, when I say, or when I talk about the scope indicates what? Scope indicates your coverage. Okay. Scope indicates your coverage. Now, coverage, it means what exactly are the areas which an HRM may look after, or which an HRM has a right to go for. So let's go one by one. Okay. Let's start with, let's start with the areas. So one by one, I'll just take one point. So labor relation. So yes, HRM is responsible for maintaining the labor relations in the organization, that maintaining your employees, maintaining your labors with respect to what? With respect to a smooth relationship. Fine. It also takes into consideration the compensation and benefit. So whatever type of extra efforts or whatever type of services your employees are providing to the organization, for that they have to be compensated, for that they have to be benefited. Then we have is what? Then we have is employee assistance. Now, when we say employee assistance, it means in order to help the employee, in order to support the employee, whatever type of support is given is, comes under what? Comes under your HRM. Then you have organization development. Organization development that respects what? It talks about a change management, how the organization takes into consideration the change management, how this change management works. That is nothing but a part of what? Your part of your scope. Then we have training and development. Your employees should be trained well, your employees should be developed well, your employees should be taken care of, all the gaps which they have, and those gaps should be filled. Then you have next is selection and staffing. That is recruitment which takes place. Getting a right candidate at a right place is the coverage which comes under HRM. You have designing of, organization, and that is the structural design and the job designing. So it is basically your job analysis, which talks about your job description, it talks about your job profile. And then you have human resource planning. and your personal research, including the information system. So yes, whatever is in and around the employee. So whether it can be selection, recruitment, training, development, compensation, the laws, the relations, everything comes under what? Everything comes under the coverage or under the scope of HRM. Okay. Now, we are talking about objectives of HRM. So yes, when we talk about the objectives of HRM, it talks with the personal objectives. It takes into consideration the functional objectives, the organizational objectives, and the societal objectives. Okay, so that means the individual, the organization, the work, and the societal objectives. So basically, the objectives of HRM are divided into these areas. Now, one by one, let's see, these objectives very well. So we have societal, organizational, personal, functional, and personal. Okay, individual, or you can tell it as personal also. That is with respect to employees. Okay, so let's go from from downwards form. So first let's take into consideration the employees. Now, when we talk about employees, it talks as I said, the moment the employee enters into the organization, that is recruitment, selection, your training, your development, your appraisal, your compensation, your benefits, everything which is related to a specific single employee, which comes under what? Which comes under the personal objectives, okay, which is related to employees. Then you have functional objectives. So now when I say functional objectives, it talks about what? It talks about your appraisal. It talks about your placement. It talks about your assessment. So functions, it means where your actions are required. So these actions are required in appraisals, in placements, as assessments. So these are the areas where the operation things are much more into consideration. Then you have the organizational objective. So yes, organization has to also look from planning aspect. It also has to look from relation of an employee. It talks into consideration the selection, the development, training, appraisal. That is okay. Till what amount, till what budget, who should be considered for training, who should be considered for development. So all these aspects comes under what? Comes under your OB. And then we have societal objective. Societal objective takes into consideration the legal compliance, that is the rules and regulations with respect to HRM, the benefits, and the union management relationship. So these are the objectives on which comes under HRM. So it is not related to specific, aspect. It takes into consideration your organization also. It takes into consideration your people also. It takes into consideration your functions also, as well as takes into consideration your societal objectives. So all this consists, under HRM objectives, right? Now, HRM functions. Now, HRM functions are divided, as you can see, they are divided into two categories. The first category stands managerial functions, which are basic, okay? And the second category stands under operative functions, which are, which are into operative form. Operative in nature. So managerial functions, which are very basic, which is the foundation. As I say that management talks about what? It talks about planning, organizing, directing, controlling. So it talks about planning of your people. It talks about organizing the people, directing the people, controlling the people. So all this comes under what? It comes under your managerial functions, right? So managerial functions are the one which takes into consideration the planning, the organization, the direction, and controlling part. That is one thing. Second is your operative functions. Now, operative functions talks about what? It talks about your operation. So if you see operation, that is procuring the people, your people, it means your, it is talking about procuring your human resource, developing them, compensating them, integrating them, and maintaining them. So when I say procurement, it is in the form of acquiring your people with the respect to job analysis, human resources. It talks into consideration, with respect to your planning, recruitment, selection, placement, induction. So all this, in order to procure, what type of functions do you require? Second is development, where you are developing your people. You're developing your people in the form of performance training, executive development, career planning, or career development. So all this, are taking into consideration what? The aspect of development part. Then after development, obviously you have to compensate them. You have to ensure that you are giving them certain incentives. Okay. You're trying to, work out for them. Yes. Integrating them, it means, in the form of integration, where you're trying to resolve their complaints, where you're trying to solve their complaints, where you're trying to solve their queries, where you try to give them the importance as a part of an employee. So all this will come in the integration function. Maintenance, it talks about what? Maintenance, it talks about maintaining the employee. So employee who has given a service to your organization has to be maintained. So maintenance comes under what? Maintenance comes like in the form of health, safety, security, welfare. So all this is nothing but a part of your maintenance. Okay. So HRM functions, as I said, it is divided into two aspects. It has your managerial functions, which are basic, which are mandatory, and it has your operative functions. In operative functions, you can see a long list that is starting from your procurement, development, compensation, integration, and maintenance, right? Now, in if you have studied, obviously paper 1 everyone must be studying, and you have certain C's of communication, 7 C's of communication, like that. There are certain principles. It is not 7 over here, it is 10 C's of HRM. Okay, nothing but it is also called as what? You call them as principles of HRM. So when I say principles, so your HRM policy should be comprehensive, it should include everything. Right now we saw it is starting from your entry to exit, so it includes everything. It should be communicated well, a good amount of communication, creativity, yes, certain amount of innovation, no monotonous form. Competence, it means it should include things as per the capability of your employee. So you should find out what is the potential of your employee, and what you will help your employee to bring a proper higher superior performance. Change management, it means accepting the change, ensuring that the change is brought, change is done in order to develop, to go ahead with your organizational goals. Then you have creditability, taking a credit, appreciating form, cost effectiveness. Yes, everything should stand within the budget. Coherence, it means your teamwork. Control in the form of directions wherever there is necessary, that is in the form of corrective actions. And commitment, it means a dedication from the employees as an organization towards their goal. That's what comes under what? It comes under 10 C's. And these 10 C's are nothing but your principles of human resource management. Some different concept, new concept. Please remember this in mind very well. Right? Now, we have some two aspects of HRM. One is called as soft HRM. Another is called as hard HRM. So let's see what is soft HRM, what is hard HRM. So when we talk about soft HRM, it is oriented, people oriented, that is employees oriented, and considered the HR as the biggest asset. It means it consider people as an asset. It is based on your behavioral aspect, that is your attitude, your potential, your integration. Here, who comes? Your people, manager, work, people, I mean to say the employees, the managers, they work as a team. It is considered as a team, Now, it talks about members understanding the bigger picture. It means what exactly the vision is. There is a continuous improvement in the form of, continuous feedback. Shared culture where work is smartly accepted. The employees can have attention towards a career growth. Okay, and it is effective and smart system. So it stands under what? It stands under effective and smart system. That comes under soft HRM. It is considered as what? Soft HRM. Now, when we talk about hard HRM, it is focused more towards work. So if you can see, it is more towards task oriented. It is based on the ability to do job. It is a task manager. It is employee knows what he needs. It is done in the way as it has always been done. So it is like, I mean, just going through the points, it is all traditional. Okay. Whereas soft HRM, it is something which is latest as per the contingent approach right now situation. Okay. So you can see in hard HRM, there are hierarchy, monotonous job, lack of focus. So all this, indicates what? Indicates your traditional HRM, whereas your soft HRM indicates your latest practices, which is followed in an organization, right? Yes. Now, this is what we have done, a short topic over here. if you just want to know that, okay, do Global Online Paper provides paper one also? Yes, we do provide paper one for your December 2023 examination. Paper one consists of daily live lectures in Hindi and English on app as well as on YouTube. And it covers full syllabus note, mock test, okay, MCQ questions. You can get in touch with us on these given numbers in order to join the sessions. And if you have any query, you can please ping to us, and keep studying, keep watching the videos and preparing yourself best for the examination. Okay, that's all for the day. Thank you, everyone.